50 cents US.
We might get there, Stan.
So for our members who are exporters, for whom this is of some significance, what are your views of where the Canadian dollar is going? Starting with yourself.
To get a sense of where our currency is going, you have to get a sense of where commodities are going. And our department generally thinks commodity prices will dip a little further as the global economy slips into recession or is in recession, but then stabilize generally around current levels, maybe pick up a few percent or so when the global economy comes back in the second half of next year, because supplies in a lot of these markets are still fairly tight, especially the oil market. So our general sense is Canadian dollar, certainly when it was at parity with the greenback, we were uncompetitive. It was much cheaper to shop in the US than in Canada. Somewhere in the high 80-cent US range, we are on even par with the US, where we're not tempted to cross the border and buy American products. And Americans will come here and buy at least a few of our products for a change. So we think ultimately the Canadian dollar will probably sink a bit further as commodity prices maybe drift a little lower, but then as things come back in the second half of next year, we think the Canadian dollar will ultimately settle around the high 80-cent US range.
Carlos, your equilibrium point for the Canadian dollar?
Again, yeah, in the high 80s, low 90s.
Yeah, we're essentially in the low 90s as well. I think the one thing that's important is, we talked about autos and, I talked about a couple of wage figures and so forth. The reality is, if the Canadian dollar gets much above the low 90s, the manufacturing base in this country just cannot compete. And that's the reality. And so when it went up above par late last year, the manufacturing sector was being totally devastated. And that will continue to happen if the Canadian dollar gets much, let's say above 93, 94 cents is really the cutting off point for the manufacturing base.